you need a sound check? Like 1, 2, 3?
Yeah. Hold on. Just a second. Okay. Let's go.
Go, Donna.
Go,
Let's
go,
go.
go, go, go.
Ding. Put up your finger on Grace. No.
We're good.
Alrighty.
All right, hey, listen, let's get the green room open.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Special green room.
We do have a great green room this morning.
Listen, it's
So
the
excited.
family green room. It's the herd green room, right? This is our herd. So I wanted to hold up our mask. Listen, we're together every single day.
We are.
So we are sitting closely,
We're like
and
family.
it is family
Yes.
here.
We
And what a
are.
crazy week. You know, we've had already Ruta, unfortunately.
Took my knee out.
Yeah, took her knee out.
Tore my meniscus. Not so fun.
You know, points out how we're all kind of day to day.
Oh my
you
God.
know,
you go down in a drop of a hat.
You do,
It's
and I think
crazy.
everybody here in the
Crazy,
green room, and we're going to introduce everybody in a second, but I think we'd all agree we're kind of living in a time warp right now. Literally
Last 4
7.
years.
Well, that's true.
Last 4 years it felt like that to me.
Literally less than 7 weeks now, Ruta,
Oh
towards the
my
election.
God.
Yeah,
It's,
right.
it's coming down to the wire under
It
60
is.
days.
It
It's
is.
incredible.
So there's a lot of stress,
A lot
a
of
lot of
stress.
anxiety,
A lot of anxiety.
and a lot of activity in our clinic.
Yeah.
Which leads us to really the topic of the green room today, and I'm so proud, really, and just overjoyed to introduce really the backbone of the clinic, as I like to call them, and those are the educators.
It's our dream team.
It is the dream
It's
team.
our dream
I
team.
know.
We are blessed to have this team.
And of course, there are 3 side effects to medical cannabis: too hungry, too happy, and too sleepy. So I think the dream team
Wait a minute. Are we
makes
close?
sense.
Okay,
Which
who's who?
one
I
are we?
was
Yeah.
gonna say who's who.
Oh,
Let's
listen,
introduce-
listen,
let's
or too
introduce our
happy.
dream team.
Listen. First, we got Patrick Moore over here. Okay. Absolutely thrilled to have him. He's been with us. Listen, all of these guys they've all seen over 2,500 patients here in the clinic
Which is
with me.
amazing.
So to even discuss how long they've been with me we just have a great stable staff because they, quite frankly, I'll let them talk for themselves. They're passionate about what they do and come
very
to work
knowledgeable.
and knowledgeable.
Extremely knowledgeable.
We have Donna Sachse here. I'll probably mess up your name as I
Yes, you
always
did,
do.
but It's okay.
Sexy.
Sexy.
Everyone does. It's
Yeah,
all right.
for sure. Our Connecticut entry into the zone, and Donna's just been so integral towards everything here in the clinic, and of course Shaquan and Harps over on the end there stole Shaquan from the banking world, so some of you may recognize him. You still get patients coming in, Shaq, that recognize you. I can only imagine all that money kind of slipping through your fingers every day as a banker. It would almost be like working in Vegas. To
Yeah,
a
this is
extent.
true. Imagine you have access and you don't have
So I
access.
just want to understand what these guys do. And when I opened up the clinic originally, my wife Patty was the original educator. And what I knew early on was that, and listen, she knows more about cannabis than I'll ever know. I think everybody knows that. But the point is that in a lot of ways, but the point is she brought a certain educational aspect to the clinic that I knew as a clinician that I couldn't do either time-wise or by expertise. So early on, I knew that we needed a spoken wheel setup, so to speak, where after I spend my time with the patient, I had experts come in and spend their time with the patient discussing products further. And we don't discuss dosing in the clinic necessarily, but delivery methods, that layering technique that allows the patients to mix up that safe witch's brew, quote unquote, so to speak, that's always safe. And then these guys help the patients tune it in and learn about the products. We have an open door policy here, or after our first visit. We have no follow-up charges in between our 210-day visits because we want our newer patients to feel very comfortable in following up with the guys. So, you know what, Shaq, I think you started first with this. So why don't you just tell, a little bit about your experience at the clinic and maybe what surprised you the most since you've been here working?
I don't know. I think it's really just been dealing with specific illnesses because, like I said, or like you said, I come from banking. So I never really got to deal with things in the medical field. So when I see
except for your own diabetes and not to hip and betray.
Well, right.
But that's important though, because once again, you
is.
bring that outlook as a patient.
But you know what though? I look at the patients that I deal with every single day, and it just makes my diabetes seem like, you know what, this is something that I can deal with. I mean, we talk to patients who can't really find a specific answer for what they have. A stage 4 metastatic cancer patient. It's like, some of them come in for comfort, before they're going. So it's like to hear this person say that, hey, listen, before they left, they told us they were really comfortable, or they felt the best that they had in years. So it's like, I mean, you're literally changing your life by using a plant. So
sometimes even just after the visit,
yeah,
just with the education and the knowledge that this is available to them, it's fascinating.
For me, it's explaining all the different routes of administration and watching their eyes go, whoa, like, I thought I was just gonna come here and have to smoke it. And I'm like, I mean, you can if you want, but it's so much more than that. It's an actual medicine. So it's just something that comes from a plant. And for me, I tell every patient, it's like pharmaceutically going vegan. And for me, like, what's better than that?
That's a great analogy, Shaq.
Yeah,
sure.
I use that with every single patient,
right.
and I let them know that. So for me, it's just something that I've seen change people's lives, and I think it's absolutely awesome. I know it helps me, but
So Donna, do you have any kind of a story, like one that sticks out, or a patient that sticks out in your mind that was like one of the most moving stories in this? Because we have, just so that you know, we've seen so many thousands of patients through this clinic, and just so that you know, the stories that come through here, they bring tears to your eyes, they make you smile, they make you laugh. So is there one in particular, that one patient that stood out for you that was just really dramatic?
Well, for me, I'm more from the medical side.
Mhm.
So I've seen patients who are in pain, who have all types of conditions. So when I wasn't here when they first opened the clinic. So there was a patient that came in, and she was here in the beginning, and apparently she was in a wheelchair and needed assistance with her son. And I'm not here to claim miracles, but she came in and was explaining to me, because she knew I wasn't there before, and was crying, and how her son was in college now, and she was here. She came all by herself, drove here,
Wow.
and how it changed her life, how cannabis changed her life dramatically. So that's a story that I will never forget. And she was so grateful to Dr. Gordon. I mean, crying. It was just a nice.
If anyone, we're live, so we have questions usually from the audience. So if anyone has any questions for our educators, I'm going to ask Patrick now what he actually does in a visit. So if I'm a new patient walking through the door, I'm going to have Patrick kind of walk through briefly like what happens. But if you have any questions, you have the dream team available to you right now. So please shoot away any questions you may have of the educators. So walk us through what happens if I'm a new patient and walking through the door and come to see you.
A new patient walking through the door, aside from all the fun stuff that we would help you with the state application, explain the ordering system.
Yeah, huge point, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Right.
Each doctor is different with their order set, so we would explain, our ordering system. Then we would go over your conditions. Have you used cannabis? Have you not used cannabis? Gauge your comfortability with cannabis products, and then talk about the different routes. What sounds like might be more interesting to the individual patient. Some patients really don't want to do the inhalation route. We do educate them that there is a benefit to that inhalation route, but some patients, want to do what they want to do, and that's absolutely fine. So we'll cover all the different routes and how to start low and go slow, essentially.
Now, do you guys find like most patients, are they scared when they walk in the clinic? Are they apprehensive, nervous?
Most of them. I'd say 65%.
Wow. So see, if you're out there and you're nervous about coming in, don't be, because you're like everyone else.
Well, when you have 1/3 of your patients come in that have literally never used cannabis in the past, and guys, the government's had a 100-year head start on their education of the population about prohibition and the gateway theory and things of that nature. Listen, we respect cannabis as a substance. That's why we believe in safe, educated access, to cannabis, and we do it every day. What have you noticed, Shaq, that's changed through, the time that you've been here at the clinic, to the extent of the availability of products and, of course, the increase in dispensaries, right?
Listen, when I started in 2017, I think it was October, I think there was only 4 or 5 dispensaries, and now we have 14
organizations with literally hundreds around the state.
Different dispensaries.
Right.
But I mean, there was literally, we had to drive to either Tampa or Bradenton to go and get product, because I don't even think they were doing delivery at the time, maybe. So it's been pretty awesome to see the expansion of all the different dispensaries, but more or less all the different products, because we really started with the concentrates and the tinctures and shatters and crumbles, and we gained flower over time, which I think has just been awesome. So as frustrating as it may have been to a lot of the patients and even, us as educators, that we don't have flour, we can't get you flour. It's the thing that, hey, listen, we have it now, and a lot of people are like, you know what, I want to use this other stuff, and I'll try the flour.
You know, Shaq, for
So-
the medical side, I tell people that Florida's unique in that we had to start with the oils,
Yeah,
which made us all learn about the concentrates and that
Absolutely.
ratio theory that we talk about every day, right, Donna? And I know you know the joy of bringing that patient who's never used cannabis in, and then you see him back in our period of time, or that patient who's used cannabis for a number of years who's never heard about CBD.
Absolutely.
And what a joy that is. Let's face it, none of us are 18 anymore, although
No.
you
yeah, I
almost,
know.
you,
Yeah, right.
listen,
Okay, yeah.
working here keeps us young, and I
It
think
does.
you would
Oh,
agree.
absolutely, every day. I mean, for patients who have utilized cannabis always in their lives, there's something new for everyone to learn. Even for us as educators, education for us, we learn something new every day so we can help our
Yes.
patients.
Well,
So that's what we emphasize to our patients. Educate yourself.
Listen, I was watching a
Every day.
webinar from Peru the other night, to that extent. I know, from Lima, Peru, and that was a translation thing. God, I don't know Spanish. Pat, why don't you talk about some of the newer products, the edibles that just came out? I know Patty brought some down from True Leaf yesterday, and
A lot
we've
of new
seen
stuff from
expansion
Trulieve.
even in the week that they've
Yep.
been out.
So far, Trulieve, I believe, is the only ones that has the vast selection of the edibles. They have 2 chocolate bars to choose from, milk chocolate and dark chocolate. They came out with new 2 flavors of their gummies, pineapple, watermelon, and that's to add to their other flavors of blue raspberry, passion fruit guava. Is there another one?
It's just
those
on
are the
those, you
ones.
have to be really careful with those because I had my little
With the
experiment that
edibles,
didn't
low
go
and
well,
slow.
low and slow, kids. That's all
Well,
I
it
have
is
to
when you
say.
hear someone like Pat bring out those subtleties, the dark chocolate, the milk chocolate, the different flavors. Listen, I can't keep track of that type of stuff. And that's why these guys are so integral to the entire practice, because early on, I think, guys, you would agree the education is key about the duality of the plant, CBD and THC, and the terpenes, of course, which we've talked on here. But then it's product updates, because as Shaq was explaining, the dispensaries are growing, both by number, by location, and by the products that they offer. So literally, we can't keep up.
No, they
You
do,
know,
they do.
and these guys do.
These guys do.
You
And
know?
if you have, again, if you have any questions for them about anything, please ask them if you have any questions.
How about the process, Donna, towards getting people into the registry statewide? That's gotten much easier, and we
Oh,
want to give
so
kudos
much
to the
easier.
state to that extent,
Absolutely.
correct?
Even
Why don't you explain
yesterday-
what patients have to do to get into the program, the $75 to the state, things of that nature,
Yeah,
right?
so they first have to apply to the state, and we help them because it's difficult. Many patients are elderly patients. They don't even know how to utilize a computer. So we try to help them the best we can.
And that was interesting when they set up the system early on, that it had to be done by computer. You needed to have an email, for
Email.
example. I remember
Mhm.
3 years ago, we had elderly patients coming in, and we would literally have to set up an email for
Yes,
that.
some
We still
still
do.
still
We
Yeah, we
do.
still do.
Yesterday,
Still
someone
do.
called, I don't have anything, no email, no computer, nothing. They don't even have a cell phone.
So there's impediments towards the system that we like to think that we can streamline for patients as
And
well.
we
So of course,
do.
it's about the education,
Absolutely.
but it's also about the, customer service.
And
We're
we-
here all day,
we
every
do.
day.
And we help patients. We'll walk you
Right.
through. Don't be nervous. Our educators, they walk you through the process. They do. They'll help you every step of the way. They explain things. We'll do follow-ups with you. They're great about following up and, with every patient. Then, as Dr. Berry said, you can come in for a free visit anytime, anytime. If you have a question about what you're using, if you're still nervous, if you're scared. And the educators, they really are phenomenal. I can't stress, they really are a dream team. So I want to hear a lot more from you guys. So I don't want to talk. So tell us again, like, say for instance, I'm a patient, used cannabis my whole life. Is there something, do I get any benefit from still coming back, and seeing you guys? Or is it like, oh, I don't really need to come back? Like if I'm somebody that's using a lot.
I think there's still benefit to coming back, because like Doc said, there's always different products that you can use. And I tell every single patient that trying each route of administration is always going to be beneficial, at least so you know how it affects, you and your biochemistry. Because something may not affect you well. You may want to try the gummies or the nano powder that Trulieve has, and it just may affect you in a negative way. So you know that, listen, this isn't something that I can use in place of maybe the flower or vaporizer. Some people may not want to vape all day if they're working, or if they have whatever they're doing throughout the daytime. So I just tell them that the different routes of administration, even being somebody who's pretty comfortable with cannabis, it's a really important thing that to just learn about, man. So just call us. And a lot of patients don't know anything about, the different routes or the new products that come out. So even when they come in for the recertification, we tell them about something new, and they say, wow, like I didn't know that. And it's like, well, the dispensaries can't tell you that. So it's like, you can call us anytime and we can let you know about new products or anything new that came out that you could definitely try. So I think that's an important part of it.
Well, you take the calls every day, Donna, from just the public that knows nothing about the medical cannabis program, right?
And even to go back to the recertifications, many patients, they go to one dispensary, so they don't know what the other dispensaries have to offer. So it's great for us because we can let them know. It's amazing how they don't know what the other dispensaries have to offer because they go to that one dispensary, it's closed, they like them. So it's good for them to get to us and we can let them know. And new discounts, they change all the time. So they get the benefit of knowing all the new discounts that come out or the specials that are
where
coming
you're going to
out.
save your money is huge.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's going to be everywhere. Yeah, because that sheet that we give you, it has a list of all the different discounts. And when people turn it over and see it, they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, they give you a discount for your birthday. Like,
right, it's like there was a flower shortage, right, Pat? But not if you know about the different dispensaries, right?
Absolutely, there was flower, and I would have calls all the time of, I can't find flower, I would be on several other dispensaries and say, I see it right here, I see it right here, I see it right here. They call me back and said, they said that I have an order on the way. Thank you.
We had a patient yesterday ask about delivery, whether anybody's delivering. I said, yeah, just about every single one of them. So there are so many holes in the knowledge base, just in the public and in the patient base as well. So once again, it's just an integral part of all of it. Guys, I know one of you guys mentioned learning every day. And I think that's one of the most important things about medical cannabis. As you guys know, I still travel and now virtually and watch these conferences remotely. I try to bring it in the next day, and we talk about it. You guys do the same, with me and for me, and there's so much misinformation out there that we find ourselves, consistently, trying to repair that as well. I want to talk about one other issue, one of the social injustice issues, and one of the other reasons to get your card. I discussed this to the extent that the law enforcement impact, on many of our patients would be much worse than any significant impact on cannabis itself, right? So we talk about that all the time, Donna, and it's not an age or a race-related thing.
No,
people need their cards just to maintain the legality of using a safe plant-based product, right, guys? I mean, you've all had impact of friends, I would suspect, of people that have been impacted.
Absolutely.
Jack, I mean, why I would even ask you that, but we do. We try to take focus on that, and just to go a little bit political on it. Everybody vote. Ruta, I'm going to open up to you because
Everybody
we
vote.
can't go
But
through a
before
green room without.
I want to go a little bit into that case with that man in Alabama.
Sure. Sean Worsley, unfortunately, is the
Sad.
Purple Heart vet from Arizona,
Awful
traveling
story.
to visit his mom, and was arrested in Alabama back in 2016. Believe it or not, case brought him back to 2018. He's still in jail. The judge unfortunately denied the appeal for him to be released to the community.
You guys, we need public outcry. If you're a vet
Absolutely.
listening, please rally the troops, literally, and get behind this man. This is an injustice. This man served our military. He came back traumatized, and look, he's incarcerated over marijuana charges. This is
It's really bad,
insanity.
and he has documented
Insanity.
PTSD, and now he's incarcerated. And what was so disappointing to me, and I was honored to write a letter to the judge in support of him, which is why I'm so frustrated that it didn't work. They were actually just going to release him to a community under care of a PTSD advisor and all kinds of great plans. So
Thank you for your service.
So last
really.
prisoner project is really what we talk about right now, guys. There's people incarcerated still all over the country. Huge case in Michigan that they're working on. So there's a lot of injustices still to be solved. And once again, that's one of the things that I know these guys assist me with in the clinic, is that they can free me up to take some of these calls now and again and sit on a Zoom so it's a team here is the point of it. And I am proud to be the happy captain of a happy ship with once again our herd, and that's why we're not wearing our masks because
And we
'cause it's our herd.
always stand up for the patient.
We
We do, and the team, they'll do everything in their power. Dr. Barry, he's a huge advocate. Just know, it was funny. In fact, a couple weeks ago, after one of our Facebook lives, one of the green rooms, somebody asked me a question, a personal question on my Facebook page, and they said, you know, well, you guys just do it for the money. And I'm like, no, we don't just do it for the money. We do it because patient care comes first and patient education comes first. And the patient care, when you see that patient coming in desperation, in pain, and being a cancer patient, and you have them feel relief, that's the gratification. That's why we do it, what we do every day, and especially this team. I mean, I can't tell you, when you say compassionate cannabis clinic, it is truly compassion in this office. And you have times where I have the staff come back in my office, and some of them are in tears over what a patient just said to them. You come back and they're shaken by a story of a patient. So if you want somebody who really cares, and I'm not just touting it because I work here, it's truly a place where patients feel great when they come in and they leave. They may not feel great when they come in, but when they leave, by the time they leave, they feel happy. They feel at least a little bit more at ease and at peace. They're not as apprehensive about cannabis. And ultimately, like I said, it really, this clinic really takes it to another level. And I'm not touting it just because we're here. It's truly a fact. And we have attestation after attestation from patients saying that. So like I said, if you have any questions, you have any concerns, please ask, because we have a great team here that can answer any question you may have. On a political note, we're under 60 days, guys, to election day. And please, if you haven't registered to vote, register. If you haven't signed up for vote by mail, do so. Or if you're going to the polls, volunteer. I had so many people off of the green room. I had 5 people volunteer for going to the polling stations. I signed them up. I sent them to Ron Turner. So please volunteer. If you're nervous about the election, which I think we all are, please go out there, volunteer, be a poll worker. Tell your friends, bring a neighbor, bring an elderly person to the polls. I know we're open that day for election day, but we're going to be giving staff some time to go out and go to the polls, go vote. I encourage every employer, make time for your employees to go out and vote. It's so important. Please make time. Let them have, like, you know, a half hour extra at lunch. Just let them go and vote. It's so critical. And again, vote.
And it's going to happen fast.
It's going to happen.
And they're not. It's not a traditional campaign,
It's
Ruta.
not.
So it's
They're
so
doing
interesting.
Zoom and the candidates.
Yes, and
you
there's
know,
no door to door, of course. You know,
I
so
give-
there's so many
Oh
things.
my
that
God,
aren't
to
being
all
done.
the candidates out there who put yourselves on the front lines, I've been there, done that. It's not easy on a regular season, but now you're talking craziness because you have to do everything via Zoom and you can't even knock on people's doors. It's awful. So to the candidates, kudos to you for doing what you're doing to get your names out there. It's not easy. It's a Herculean task on a normal day.
But so important.
But
At
so
the local
critical.
level and,
Oh my God,
and
your
state
local-
level, regional
Local people
level.
just forget how important it is on a local level. How the school board, are your kids gonna wear a mask? Are your kids gonna be safe? The school board matters. City matters. If you're going downtown and you have city ordinances that are gonna safeguard you, you want people in there that you care about. County commissioners, if you don't want overgrowth in the county.
Well, listen, Collier
you
County
know.
has still banned medical cannabis dispensaries, as is Venice
As down
Island.
Venice Island.
So these are all important things, you know, to make sure.
And we
pay
hope
attention
Ron
to.
Feinsold, who's the mayor of Venice, push to open cannabis in the city of Venice. We have a huge advocate on our side in the new mayor. So we hope that Mayor Ron, I know you listen to the show, so please get out there and start pushing the cannabis to open up in the city of
And
Venice.
thanks to everybody for listening to the show. Listen, we've noticed our, you know, what do you
Our
call
numbers
them? Our
are
numbers, whatever they
great.
are.
So people
Yeah.
are spreading word, and for those we get also, just so that you know, we're tapped into not just a local market. We tapped into a lot of cannabis communities all around the United States. So we have listeners all over. So even if you're listening from California or New York, and we have a special thing to you.
Oh,
It's
Happy
happy
birthday
birthday
to
to you.
Boy,
Happy birthday, Donna. Happy birthday to you.
Beautiful.
thank you very much.
listen, and in this clinic, we go backwards in age, so.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Have a great week,
and-
everybody.
Hey,
See you
hey,
next
questions,
week.
any questions, please call us. We are here every day from 9 to 5. Please, anyone.
And vote.
And vote.
And vote.
It's
Bye,
more-
everyone.
it's important.